Russ is actually very successful, man. When you look at the season he just had, Deke wrote it off to you. Those are successful numbers. If we had them numbers at our quarterback position this year, we're looking very different. But we're trying to give you a chance to come to a part of an organization that has legacy, that already has a championship mindset. We have a coach here that's already done it. You got a lot of pieces already in place. You're the missing piece, but you get a chance to also follow the grace of a Terry Bradshaw. You saw Ben Roethlisberger was still able to carve out his role here, carve out his name. You can do the same thing if you win a championship. You can carve out your name. You'll have your own space here also.
A little birdie told me, and I said this many shows ago, if Russell Wilson coming on over there to the Steelers.
I think right now I saw on DraftKings the betting favorite is Justin Fields to end up in Pittsburgh.
No, he's going to Atlanta.
The Pittsburgh Steelers currently don't have their, clear-cut starting quarterback. And Russell Wilson is likely to be released by the Broncos very, very soon. Could Russell Wilson be the next Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback? Well, in this video, we're going to break down why I believe Russell Wilson would not only make Kenny Pickett better, but could also make the Steelers a contender to win it all next season. Before I get into the video, before I jump into the main reasons why this would be the dream fit for not only Russell Wilson, but also the Pittsburgh Steelers, do me a favor, guys, real quickly. Comment down below the number 1 if you think Russell Wilson will be the next quarterback of the Steelers. But also, if you disagree, comment down below who you believe will be the starting quarterback opening night for the Pittsburgh Steelers next season. But without any further ado, let's jump into why I believe Russell Wilson is the next quarterback in Pittsburgh. Now, in terms of the Pittsburgh Steelers, there's already been a ton of internal division in terms of who will be the next starting quarterback. Kenny Pickett, Mason Rudolph, but, the fact is, none of the above, neither of those guys could be the starting quarterback next season. And it might even be a better choice that they go out and bring a guy like Russell Wilson. Now, I know a lot of people, a lot of Steelers fans look at it right away and think, well, Russell Wilson's going to demand a lot of money. However, that may not be the case, right? Russell Wilson is going to be paid a ton of money from the Denver Broncos for him being cut. They're still going to pay him around $39 million that he's guaranteed for 2024, which means the Steelers could sign him to a 1-year, $15 million contract, $10 million contract, and it would be an absolute steal for the Steelers. And I think another thing we need to talk about is the Steelers were currently favored to, pick up Russell Wilson this offseason. And another thing I hate that's said about Russell Wilson is the stats that he just put up. Now, this is a big thing I don't understand about Denver. Why are you doing this move, right? Russell Wilson's coming off one of his best seasons in a long time, having a completion percentage rate of 66.4, which is third best of his career. He also threw over 3,000 yards, threw 26 touchdowns to only 8 interceptions, his third lowest mark in his career as well. He's coming off a career season, right? And he looked like a very good quarterback. He also ran for over 340 yards, having 3 rushing touchdowns as well. Listen, the fact that Russell Wilson is being released right now is going to really benefit another team. And right now, it looks like it should be the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, let's get into why Russell Wilson makes Kenny Pickett a better quarterback as well. Actually, before we get into that, do me a big favor, guys, and hit that like button just so we can help get this video out to more Steelers fans around the world. But also, subscribe to the channel if you're new. It is free. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe. And I will be covering the Steelers for the rest of the offseason, keeping you guys updated throughout the deadest point of the season, which is right now. But with that being said, comment down below what are the biggest positions of need for the Pittsburgh Steelers going into the offseason, and comment down below a couple of draft prospects that you want the Steelers to consider drafting in the next couple of weeks. But let's get right back to the video. Now, one thing about Kenny Pickett that I actually kind of like is he is a competitor. He knows when a guy is brought in to take his job, he's going to work extra hard. And I guarantee you, as we're sitting down right now, as we are, watching this video, he is out there working. He is trying to get better. And I think with all the rumors going around about the Steelers potentially adding Ryan Tannehill or Russell Wilson or some of these other guys throughout the draft and free agency, I think Kenny Pickett is looking at it as motivation. And the one thing we saw from Kenny Pickett at Pitt was he had a lot of motivation, which ended up being one of the main reasons he was a top quarterback in his draft class. Now, I also believe he quite frankly just isn't ready just yet. He was thrown into the mix year one, had 7 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. This season, 6 touchdowns to 4 interceptions, but just wasn't on par to what we thought he would be. And yeah, he was outplayed by Mason Rudolph at the end of the season, right? But I think Kenny Pickett still has the potential to be a good quarterback. So not only do I think Russell Wilson adds a motivation factor for Kenny Pickett, but can also help develop him as being a mentor, being someone he can look after, watch how he works. Because we all know how good of a player Russell Wilson was in his prime. And we know the things that he's learned from Pete Carroll and some of these other guys around him. He can throw all of that onto Kenny Pickett and help develop him into a solid quarterback. And yes, I know he's 25 years old, right? But that doesn't mean he can't be a good quarterback in 2 years from now. We saw what happened with Geno Smith. We saw the year Baker Mayfield just had. Don't give up on Kenny Pickett. But maybe he's just not ready yet. In this Steelers team, they are ready. They're one of the best defenses in football, surrounded by a really good core here of offensive players as well, with a brand new coordinator coming over here to run the offense. I think Russell Wilson could change everything for the good, right, for now, but could also prepare the team for the future as well. Now, at the end of the day, guys, we have to sit back and understand. The Steelers had one of the worst offenses in football last season, only putting up 17 points a game, which was 4th worst in the NFL last season, right? But their defense was top tier, number 8 in terms of touch or points allowed per game. Only 19 points a game did they allow, right? That is really good, right? The Steelers also really want to run the football, which fits what Russell Wilson likes to do, right? He can run, he can pass, he can do anything. But over here in Pittsburgh, you have Najee and you have Jaylen Warren, who can help him right away. Over in Denver, he had Javonte Williams, who was on and off the field with injuries. Samaje Perine was okay, but I think Najee and Jaylen Warren are a step above. Once you open up that running game, it is going to fly open the passing gates for Russell Wilson in this offense. Last season, the Steelers ranked number 11 in rush yards per game and number 13 in rushing touchdowns per game. This run offense is, driven to be very solid. If you add a Russell Wilson, it will open up the secondary or open up the box, right, to be more pass heavy, right? They're going to put in another nickel, put in, a dime defense, and then you can start running the football. Once the defense changes, then you have Russell Wilson who can make those tight throws, who can make those smart decisions. I think Russell Wilson changes everything for the Pittsburgh Steelers. However, do you want to pay him money? I mean, I just don't think he'll want too much money because he's already making a boatload. But let me know, what is that threshold? What is that number you're like, no, we're not paying him that much, but I will pay him this much? What is that number for you? But also, if you guys are really into betting and want to put money on Russell Wilson going to Pittsburgh, you guys need to go do it on BetUS. Guys, this is the best sports betting app I have ever used. They have live sports betting. They have regular sports betting. They have a live casino. They have horse race, everything, right? And they just gave away Super Bowl tickets, which makes me think, what are they going to do next, right? When you use my promo code in the description, they will give you a free 125% match deposit of whatever you deposit. So basically just going to give you free money. They're going to enter you into sweepstakes to win more things. Guys, go check it out. Go get the free money they're going to give you and go put money on Russell Wilson to Pittsburgh, because I guarantee you this is going to happen.